Good evening. I'm Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, and we're at the 6th of December, 2023, and the time, about 6:05 p.m. I'm actually on the early side, and I rarely give the time in this update because the markets aren't open. Futures are when I do them, but not these markets. All right. Interesting markets. Think of what the market is saying. On the whole, we keep seeing interest rates decline. We're 4.1 and a fraction now in the 10-year note. Oh my God. Are we going to crack 4%? All right. Weren't we just getting big bettors going in and saying that we're going to 6.5% in the real short-term money? That isn't there anymore. You saw the mortgage numbers today that came out. The refi went crazy, up 13+% this week. So people are taking advantage as this is going on. We saw today the ADP numbers come out, and we saw that instead of the 130,000 jobs, they got about 20-some-odd thousand less that had gone into the private area. We have on Friday the U.S. jobs report. The headline survey number is 180,000, but there are whispers of 156,000. And remember, you've got 30,000 plus that returned to work from the UAW strike. So that's part of the pop that you're getting there. So in simple English, if you're still getting bonds and notes every day, they're losing yield. Is the market saying a severe recession? If it is, at what point are these numbers too high? That's the first thing. The break today in energy, we're down roughly $3 a barrel in crude oil, both WTI and Brent approximately. Why? Not because they added on the stocks a lot of crude. They didn't. They're adding in the diesel and they're adding in the gas. I get the natural gas add too. Why? Are you looking out your window? Does this feel like winter? Most of America, it's not. It's still very, very mild. And each day that goes by, you're not cranking up that heat for 20 degrees at night, 30s during the day that we're so used to in Chicago. We're nothing like that. We're going to be 55 tomorrow in Chicago. That doesn't mean at nighttime the temperatures don't drop, but it's not the severe cold. And if interest rates are falling because traders are believing that there's a recession of size coming, as some analysts keep bringing up. Well, if they're right, then all the goods that you're getting bid are too high in price. When I did my financial futures tonight, I was talking about the falling price of electric cars. So I was reading today in a magazine, and I don't have it on me, but that in a 5-year period, the average electric car is losing 49% of its value. Whoa! Why would anybody buy a new electric car? I mean, that to me is just throwing your money out the window. So I don't get that one right away. Then they were talking about the price of the Taycan, a T-A-Y-C-A-N Porsche, how that's losing big time from where it was a year ago. Every year now they're coming down. I have friends that are in the Rolex watch business. They're huge in it, to be honest, new and primarily refurbished, older watches that you wouldn't know. I mean, that's the way that I used to buy watches. I'd go into this, man, and I'd have dream watches that I wanted to own, and I'd get them at a used price. And if you knew anything about it, used prices were going up, up, and up, all right? And they did during the pandemic. Now it's the exact opposite. Deflation's hitting. It's really simple. Look around you. Today, I was looking at the price of beef in the futures. They were down $4. That's huge. Crude oil's down $3 today. Coffee was down 8 cents. Sugar was down 2 cents a pound. I'm just looking at what's going on, and I'm going, what the heck is going on here that prices aren't holding up? Gold held up. The other day, we did get up beautifully for hours. You heard what I said, hours. It went from 2150 back to 2050, actually in the 2030s, like in 2 hours. That was unbelievable. New all-time high to crashing down again. Okay, but it's not crashing. It's still holding over 2,000 an ounce. So gold is acting good. Silver's acting okay. Copper doesn't quite know what to do with it. TLT, you can just see where you're at. That represents what's going on. And no, I've told you, I think the 148 area in your Amazon, that's a profit-taking zone for me. You're at that funny time right now. You have finished, and I keep saying this, Cyber Week, Black Friday. So in between now and the next 2 weeks, what are you on Amazon for? You're waiting for deals to come up. You're not there buying right now. Maybe you are, but a lot of you did your Christmas shopping already if you were smart, and it's going to show up there. We're seeing that the Lucid came up a little today. Ford was up. GM and Rivian, one of my favorite stocks, that is up very nicely now. I'm watching what AMC, the movie theater chain, I don't think they're going anywhere for the winter time just yet. I think they'll do fine at the end of the first quarter when the new big time releases start coming out again that all got delayed due to the actors' strike. So right now it's got to live off of Beyonce's movie and whatever they can get their hands on, which will be Aquaman. Can it save the day? I don't think that franchise is that strong, but it could be wrong. You never know. Word of mouth is everything in a movie. When you look at a firm, I want you to do me a favor. I need a new stock for you to cover, is I'm going to replace this over the weekend. So it's not going to be your weekend view. So write me on YouTube is the way to do it. What stock do you want me to cover? Do not give me things that the public doesn't know. I get that all the time. Hey, Eric, can you find this uranium stock that nobody's ever heard of? No, I can't. All right, I want things that you might want to hear of that's in the news, and I'll be willing to cover it. If I don't hear anything, then I'll just pick it. But up and away. Now, is it going to peak here? Don't know, but the pattern is certainly higher lows, higher highs. But you keep running into the resistance of my great friend called BB. And it is not for the guy that they call the head of Israel. It's Bollinger Bands. And each time we've gone up, we get thrown back right away. Now, for a while, 3 days in a row, 4 days, you were able to stay over the band. You latched onto it, and you're still on it. This is called what? The Gorilla Glue trade. It's when you hit the band, you run it for a while, and then you don't stop hitting it. You didn't hit it yesterday. It came right back today. But that also means to me we're getting to the point where the market's getting a little bit rich right here. Be careful. If the red line in the momentum closes under 79, abandon ship if that happens, all right? Get your life raft, get out of this and move on to something else. But until that happens, no, I got the raft in hand, but I'm not going anywhere just yet. Get down there and patch up that hole. You know what's going to stop that ship from sinking? Flex Seal. I'm going to put it on the sides, and it's going to do just what that gentleman says. Next, Rivian. When we look at Rivian, is this the attempt at the breakout? I've been telling you for a week and a half that this, I think, is going to be a bottom. I have said that over and over. This is a pattern that can go either way. But I'm enamored with Rivian, and I'm looking for breakouts. And then if it does break out, the 2066 level is a very real level. UGA, the gasoline fund, it's wintertime. Who's driving big? Nobody. And you're not running your generator on gasoline. You might do it on diesel and propane, but you're not doing it on this. And boom, is this going to be a breakout to the downside? As Rivian's going one way, this was the sideways action. Next day or two will tell us the story. In fact, tomorrow will tell me the story. And I'll review that with you why tomorrow if I remember. XLF, be careful here. You've got a 78 reading. Was it embedded? Did it lose it? If you have not taken my enhanced Bollinger Band course, please take it. Go to the website, iraepstein.com, under the word education. Take it. This is an all-out signal that the market now is lost before price is losing everything, its momentum, and the goal will be the 18-day average. The fake out will be if you have a sharp day up tomorrow. Barring that, and it can only be tomorrow, boom, that's where I think you could be heading. The word is could. XLI, still with the embedded reading, all part of it, still bullish. Here's my AMC, and as you know, I'm looking hard at the $7 range. Do I have a reason to be bullish here? I have none. Have I told you to do anything? I certainly have not. I'm giving you ideas, and that's all off the 18-day average of closes. But what I want to happen is the Bollinger Band to do what it did in Rivian and UGA that we just saw. Let's get back here. Okay. Did I do this wrong? Yeah, I did. Well, I want that sideways action. All right. In the consumer, 84.7 still embedded. Keep your eye here. Are you going to get the 18-day average to crisscross the 200 and the 100, or do we get a kiss like that, where the market comes up to it, arcs and turns back down, and that's often accompanied, if you lose the bullish embedded reading, it's an attempt that fails, then price comes back into those numbers. We're in important areas. XHB, home builders. This is where I think you have to take money off the table. I mentioned it to you, and I mentioned it this morning to my traders. I am bullish in the builders right here, definitely. And it's now time to take a little bit off the table. And I think they're going further. You saw Toll Brothers, was it yesterday? They just look phenomenal after the market. And with interest rates falling, there's always people with money, and there's always people looking for a new home. And if rates get cheap enough, there'll be more than that person. There'll be people, plural, and more of them. So that's good for the custom builders. Higher high, lower low on the energy. You closed at the very bottom of the range on sideways action. So now, like Rivian, but this is to the downside again, like UGA, is this going to be a breakout to the downside, carrying this market even lower? Tomorrow is super important on markets that have come out of that sideways action. GLD, you're not embedded. So what the market did, and we can count this so you get an idea here. Not embedded there. Here. Embedded, both numbers over 70, both over 70, both over 70, both over 70. Got it? If you lose that and you get the market to close underneath 79, which it did right here, then before it goes for this high, I often think the market is going to come back down to that 18-day average of closes. Okay, we'll find out if I'm right or wrong. Should be interesting. Silver, it's already done it. Was embedded, lost its reading. You're going to learn to do this in my course. By the way, you need my values. These are not your typical slow stochastic values. And you only get it from me if you're a subscriber of mine. Higher lows, higher highs, and as you can see right here, and by the way, you won't be able to go in on your slow stochastic and change it from, oh, he's got a value of 5, 3, and 18 or 14. And that's not where it's at. Okay. If copper takes out yesterday, that's the lows of Tuesday, could be a problem in the market. Now, close under 34.16 would be all-out bearish action. You have no trend here to trade off of per se because you have the momentum pointing down. The trend itself, I should say this grammar correctly, and I was wrong. The trend is up, the bias is up, momentum is down. TLT, fully embedded reading, and now, is it going to develop the Gorilla Glue trade? It hasn't yet, so it could, which would be even lower interest rates coming. UUP, look at how the dollars come up, but it's overbought. So the first challenge of a major moving average, and so often you hear me say it, the 200 or the 100-day average, if it gets attacked, that's often where the pros take money off the table. And in this case, that worked. Now, can it go through it? Yeah, there's no magic to it, but it's often what takes place, especially if it's in conjunction with a Bollinger Band. You're just playing percentages. You lose the bearish momentum and get the slow stochastic lost, And the objective becomes very quickly that 18-day average, and the market did it. And we came down here and hit the 100-day. Do I think we could fall to the Bollinger Band? You could, but as I said yesterday, I haven't changed my opinion. I'm not a Jekyll and Hyde. You're in oversold territory. It's hard to get it down there, and I certainly wouldn't be telling traders to deploy new money short. Why? Were you going to put a stop over the most recent high? Doesn't make any sense. So you put it together, you come with it, and this is a market right now where one tool is calling the shot. What is it? It is the tool called the Enhanced Bollinger Band course, in my opinion. It is a combination of the Bollinger Band and slow stochastic coming together in dictating the terms of the market. Every time I see that, I get excited because I understand it. So if you're interested, go to iraepstein.com under the word education. The course is waiting for you. I'm Ira. You have a good day.